Hello, and welcome back. If you watched the first series, then you've learned several things about your hearing and hearing loss. 1. Our hearing is a complicated system made up of 4 different components working together to produce the end product that we call hearing. 2. Only a complete hearing exam is capable of defining where your hearing loss lies within those 4 components. 3. In order to make the proper recommendation, we must know which part of the hearing system is broken down. And 4, there are many benefits to fixing your hearing loss over letting it get worse. Let's start this series by answering the questions on the screen. For the first question, you must recall that I told you to think about your hearing nerve like the keys on a piano. A dysfunctional hearing nerve is much like a piano with broken keys. You can still play that piano, but some songs may not sound quite right. The same is true about your hearing. With a dysfunctional nerve ending, you may be able to hear some people just fine, but others you're going to really struggle with. As far as hearing in a crowd, hearing aids will greatly improve your performance in complex listening environments. But depending on the nature of your loss, expectations need to be set accordingly, and those will be discussed in your individual evaluation. Is it just wax buildup? For some people, that's all it is. At Beltone, we'll clear that wax buildup out or recommend you to an ear surgeon if the wax buildup is what we call impacted. This will require a more invasive technique to remove the block. Hearing aids will keep the speech center of the brain active and slow the progression of loss at that point, but the nerve ending itself will still continue to age, and some continued loss is a normal expectation. Now, hearing loss does not hurt, but if you wait too long to correct your hearing loss, you can reach the point of no return, where the potential for a positive outcome will be greatly diminished. It's always better to fix your loss sooner than later. Now let's assume you've been told that hearing instruments would be a wise choice to make. What can you expect? No matter what technology level you choose, everyone goes through an adjustment period. Some people mistakenly believe the more money they spend, the less adjustment they'll have to endure. The adjustment period, however, is tied more directly to how long you've been suffering with the loss. The rule of thumb is the longer the loss, the longer the adjustment period. Then there's my favorite phrase, normal hearing. Normal hearing doesn't really exist. It's a function of relativity that is different for each and every person. So when we correct your hearing loss, we're effectively asking your brain to create a new normal. Because for someone with a hearing loss, the loss is what the brain believes to be normal. With modern technology, you can expect your practitioner to be able to make many adjustments to the hearing aids to assist with the adjustment period of creating that new normal. However, you can also expect to be given challenges along the way in order to restore your hearing acuity. Now, what makes hearing aids today, and in particular Beltone hearing aids, so special is their smaller sizes and incredible fitting software. This is where the science of testing your hearing health meets the art of fitting your hearing aids. At Beltone, we specialize in this art and have become experts in manipulating our fitting software. Unlike other practitioners that try to learn a little bit from several different companies, our fitters know their products inside and out. What this means for you is a better fit on day one and quicker, more successful, long-term fitting down the road. We call this the Beltone difference. What you notice on this slide is the common breakdown in hearing instrument technology. Today, 100% digital products dominate the market, while programmable hearing aids have been pretty much phased out. Traditional hearing aids are still available and serve as a preferred treatment option for some types of hearing loss. We'll discuss programmable hearing aids for the purpose of historical comparison on where we've been as to where we are now. Traditional hearing aids are an excellent choice for some types of hearing loss that do not respond well to digital amplification. First is the patient who has worn traditional hearing aids for a long time and most likely won't appreciate the sound quality of digital. These patients usually prefer the richer, heavier sound quality of analog over digital. Second are the patients with severe flat nerve damage. These patients may require more power than we can achieve with digital amplifiers. Third are patients with conductive loss that are not candidates for surgery. Conductive loss sometimes responds better to analog amplification over digital. Programmable hearing aids came along in the early to mid-90s as the computer technology that we know today was beginning its explosive presence in our world. The most significant thing to know about programmable hearing aids at this point was that it offered the fitter and the patient that first taste of what it was going to mean for the hearing industry to move in to a 100% digital technology. By the early to mid-2000s, that's exactly where the hearing industry was headed, into 100% digital hearing aids. And by 2007, patients with every budget consideration could expect to find a completely digital product to choose from. The advantages of 100% digital were best realized with superior feedback control. This meant that we were better able to control that annoying squealing that can be produced by traditional and even programmable hearing aids. Digital technology also gave us sound compression and directionalized microphones. These are the two key components in getting better performance in complex listening situations. Every year, we just keep getting better, and in 2010, Belltone won the prestigious Consumer Electronics Innovation Award. Now, some people are going to come into the office, have their hearing evaluated, and they're going to be told that their hearing health is at a normal acuity level. For them, the most common question is, how long can I keep it that way? Well, age and heredity you've got no control over, but some things you do. So we're going to tell you to minimize your exposure to loud noise and to wear sound protection devices appropriate for the environment if you are subject to loud noise. Also, we want you to be aware of any medications that you take that may cause hearing loss. Unfortunately, the class of medicines most likely to cause permanent hearing loss are used in situations where other, more critical health concerns are at stake. So you may not have much choice in finding alternatives. On that note, try to stay healthy. And if you specifically suspect an ear infection, get it taken care of immediately. It only takes a virus a few hours to cause permanent hearing damage to your nerve ending. Lastly, eat healthy. Studies show that a diet rich in vitamins and minerals keeps the hearing nerve healthy for a long time compared to those with poor nutrition. Do you still have questions regarding your hearing loss? Check out one of the other slideshows available on this site. Or have you heard enough and you're ready for your personal consult? Call us toll-free at 1-877-304-9099 to book a hearing evaluation today. All the online lectures in this series are available and taught face-to-face on a monthly basis in our classroom in Colorado Springs, where topics can be discussed in even greater detail. Call the number on your screen to reserve your free spot for you and your family at our next seminar. See you there.